Hey guys, it's Verbal, and today I just wanted to bring you kind of a good old-fashioned verbal commentary. This one isn't so much about the gameplay. This ended up being from a pretty tough game that we were playing. It wasn't from the competitive playlist, you'll tell, because all sorts of stuff is still allowed. But it was just one of those fun games where you wanted to play, you wanted to win, and the other team were actually trying for once, and not just kill whoring in the back, and our team were wiping the floor with them. So the real thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today was life, I guess. That seems like such a broad topic, though. But the last few days, maybe few weeks, you kind of take stock. When something goes well for you in life, you tend to sort of stop and think to yourself, wow, that's awesome. Like, I'm loving what just happened. How did I get here? And you have that moment and you stop and you think about it. And you tend to do that more and be happy about it when things go right, obviously, than when things go wrong. And obviously, you're not going to be happy about things, but the word that you tend to use to describe when things go bad is that you dwell on things, and you dwell on, I don't know, I got a bad grade. My mom and dad are fighting. My brother's taking drugs. I don't know. And there's a lot of life lessons that we all go through, and we all have those horrible, terrible stories that happen to us. And, a couple of you have reached out to me, and I'm certainly not going to, mention names or single you out, but it's humbled me that you've come to me and talked to me. And I think I surprised a couple of you because you were like, I'm sure I'm not going to get an answer from you. And shit, I answer every single email I get. I was a little late with one of you, and you know who you are, and I apologize, but shit, we've traded like 10 emails since then. So, I'm just another douchebag with a laptop and a mic, and I can talk and post it on YouTube. I'm not special. I'm just that guy. And a lot of what I want to talk about right now is about how I got to where I am, because I think it's interesting to take a step back. And I didn't always work in advertising. I didn't always have this cushy New York apartment. I'm actually moving. My girlfriend and I are trying to get a better place, if you can imagine that. I might do a setup video later on here in the summer and show you guys. And yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here on screen right now, where I'm jumping up and down and trying to get on top of that thing. I swear to God, I saw Onslaught on the top of that thing one time, and for some reason I just could not get up on that fucking sandbag, but whatever. I wanted to sort of take a step back, getting back to the point here, that it's life is not an easy road, and I don't want. I see a lot of it lately in YouTube, and people looking up to other people, and this guy's got it made because he has that many subscribers, and he must be earning quadrillions of dollars, and he must own a palace somewhere, and life is tough for us all, and I want each one of you to take a step and think about something good that's happening in your life right now, because it might be simple as I got a job at a local pet store, that'll help me pay for, I don't know, the next game I want to buy, or help pay my way into college or university, and maybe share a little bit about myself. So for those in the UK, what the difference is between a GCSE and an A-level. And for those in America, GCSE is something you take when you're 16 that allows you to sort of narrow down your choices. The majority of people in the UK are only studying, 3, maybe 4, if you're a really, really good student, subjects between the ages of 16 and 17 and 18. And so when you go to college or university, you've only been studying a couple of courses at that point in time, as opposed to what they do in America, where you're still studying basically everything: math, English, history, science, physics, biology, everything up until the age of 18. And then when you go to university, you kind of figure out what you want to be, and you decide, and then it's called electing a major. And I say, I'm going to become a veterinarian. I'm going to go to business school. People in the UK do it a little bit differently, where you start working towards what you're going to be at the age of 16, and you choose, right, I'm going to study, let's say business studies, computers, and physics. And those are the 3 subjects I'm going to study. And then maybe, 2 years from then, when I apply to universities, I can say, right, I got grades in those 3 courses, and that's my A-level course. And then, you go on. And verbal age 17 and a half, nearly 18. And when I became 18 and took my A-level tests, I failed so miserably at A-levels. Some of my teachers laughed at me. The college or university guy that I went to, and I went to Portsmouth University on the south coast of England, literally chuckled when I asked if I could still get into the university, because there was just not a fucking hope in hell with my scores. And I'll happily share them with you to give you an idea of what I was doing. So the scoring potential at that point in time was, A is your best, and for American graduates, like A is like a 4.0 grade average. And then all the way down to, I guess 2 is really, you suck, and that's like an E. So 2.0 is like you're horrible and you're terrible, and the same equivalent in England is like you're a D or an E. Well, in England they have 2 more grades, and an N is a near miss. Like you came close to getting that E, which would have meant that you sucked, but you didn't quite get there. And then a U is ungraded. Basically, why the fuck did you even turn up? You ridiculously useless piece of shit. And yeah, that's right. Verbal got an E, which I was very proud of, because it meant that I wasn't completely full of shit. Although, let's be honest, I was. And then an N, and then an E. So I got a U-N-E, which I figured counts for one in French. If you know the word one, it's un, or U-N-E in French. Yeah, my father didn't like that joke either when I told it at the point in time. Watch this double! Yeah, bite me, bitch. I shouldn't have gone back for the next one, though. Whatever. Anyway. So, age 18, my dad comes into me freaking out. You're gonna go work at McDonald's. You're, barely gonna get through life. What's the best you'll ever be is like a manager for a McDonald's store in downtown Camberley. You're useless. Rah, 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 rah. And I am sitting there freaked the fuck out at age 18. And I've heard a couple of stories recently of these, subscribers of mine reaching out to me. And what I'd like you guys to do is, if you feel comfortable, share it in a comment. Tell me a story about, what's going on with your life, and let's get a bit of discussion going there. If it's a little bit too personal, if you don't want to share it all, totally fine. I get it. Click off. I'll talk to you later. Maybe I'll catch you in the next video. But if you want to, I challenge you. I challenge you to email me and see if I respond to you. My kind of bet is that I will, because I kind of tend to respond to anyone, but everyone, I mean. And I kind of want to, and I don't know what's going on here. It was major lag at the point in time. I thought that guy was going to get me, and I just luckily get out of the way and then shoot everything and still only get the assist. 40% of that ass. Jay Easy would not have been impressed. Anyway, so, I just wanted to sort of put things in perspective, and no matter how badly things are going for you and how much life is sucking right now, I pulled a U, an N, and an E when I was 18, and I kind of started and was like, wow, this is really, really shit. I should be doing better than this. And I went to a vocational college. I did an HND for the guys in the UK. That's called a Higher National Diploma, which is basically like your, bullshit degree. They call it a has-no degree. HND, has-no degree. Get it? And I really tried. I tried really, really hard, and I ended up getting my degree and then my master's degree. And I ever since then I was like, wow, I nearly fucked up my whole life because I decided at the age of 18 I couldn't give a shit, and those were the friends I wanted to pay attention to. And I barely speak to maybe 3 of them at this point in time, and I've got a pretty successful life being an advertising guy in Manhattan. And I just wanted to sort of take a step back and realize that what you're doing, even if it's not on YouTube or whatever else you're doing, is worth something. Bear that in mind, guys.